Good morning and happy Easter. Once again, my name is Father Mike McDermott, and I'm pastor here at St. Patrick's in Sydney and also at St. Joseph's in Kimball. Even though it is Easter Sunday, it does not feel like Easter Sunday. It does not look like Easter Sunday. It does not sound like Easter Sunday, but it is Easter Sunday. In light of that, I would like to begin by praying the Gospel according to John. On the first day of the week, Mary of Magdala came to the tomb early in the morning, while it was still dark, and saw the stone removed from the tomb. So she ran and went to Simon Peter and to the other disciple whom Jesus loved, and told them, "They have taken the Lord from the tomb, and we don't know where they put him." So Peter and the other disciple went out and came to the tomb. They both ran, but the other disciple ran faster than Peter and arrived at the tomb first. He bent down and saw the burial cloths there, but did not go in. When Simon Peter arrived after him, he went into the tomb and saw the burial cloths there, and the cloth that had covered his head, not with the burial cloths, but rolled up in a separate place. Then the other disciple also went in, the one who had arrived at the tomb first, and he saw and believed. For they did not yet understand the scripture that he had to rise from the dead. The resurrection is truly an event, an experience in which we really fail to grasp completely, totally. We do not understand. In fact, it may take us a lifetime seeking to understand exactly what this means, not only for you, but for all of us together. Again, it does not feel like Easter for us, and yet it is Easter. Maybe in a very quiet kind of a way, we considered that this global health crisis, which has afflicted so many and which has in every way disrupted the lifestyles of just not some, but all people, it would just go away. If Easter is Easter, maybe we are due for a real miracle. Maybe it will just disappear and everything will be back to normal, whatever normal is going to be for each and every one of us. I believe there has been a miracle. There is a miracle, but we have to know where to look for it. But not only do we have to know where to look for it, we need to pay attention. It is right before each and every one of us. And if it is ever present to us, then we must not only pay attention to it, but we must mark it and then give gratitude to God. Even though this is not the way that we really wanted to celebrate Easter, what has been the silver lining in all of this? This global health crisis has certainly been a curse, but maybe too it has been a little bit of a blessing. Maybe it has been a blessing in the sense that it has opened our eyes and opened our ears to realities that we have never really fully received. We have missed them because of the craziness in each of our lives. But now we walk through a different kind of craziness, and this different kind of craziness invites us to maybe take notice as to the miracles that are happening before us. We have a tendency as human beings to truly emphasize what we do not have. But now, as followers of Jesus, believers in the resurrection, we concentrate on what we do have. Those little miracles are those different types of realities which not only we receive, but now we do have. I remember years and years and years ago in Grand Island, one particular Easter weekend. It was not the best of Lent. It was not the best of Holy Week. For one reason or another, nothing came together for me. In fact, I just began to question a lot of things. But it was so overwhelming that I just simply could not do what I wanted to do. I wanted it over. I remember after the Easter Vigil, which lasted a long time for me, sitting in the rectory in Grand Island, and about 11 o'clock at night, the doorbell rang. And I wondered, who could it have been? Who was this ringing the doorbell at 11 o'clock at night? Lo and behold, there were five senior girls that I had in class at Grand Island Central Catholic. And they had a big Easter basket, and they all shouted out, "Happy Easter, Father Mike." All of a sudden, everything changed. My heart was lifted up. My spirit was lifted up. Things started to look different. Here was the miracle. This little happening which revitalized my hope in the resurrection. That what we find to be true in some way is not true in another way. Therefore, we look forward to really what God can do for us. That happening, that Holy Saturday night, was a kind of happening that fueled me for the rest of the entire Easter season. Somehow, in the midst of my own personal struggle, whatever that struggle really was at that time, it was rendered powerless. And now, Jesus, the risen Christ, making himself visible, known, by way of five senior girls at Grand Island Central Catholic, defeated all that which was not of God. It was a happening that was now powerful. The Lord suffered, died, and was raised. The power of evil, the power of sin, the power of death no longer lingered, but rather it was the power of new hope and new life. What maybe is the miracle that will happen in your life? Can you keep your eyes open? Can you keep your ears open to the way that God offers himself to us, not as the crucified Christ, but as the risen Christ, revitalizing our hope, revitalizing our life? At the end of the gospel today, we hear that those early disciples just did not understand. Well, we do not understand what is happening in our world or in our lives. We do not understand in what way does Easter come into play here and offer us that new hope and new life. Maybe we are expecting something that is not going to come about. Maybe we're looking in the wrong place. But maybe we lower our expectations, and whatever happens, we give praise and thanks to God. And maybe we need to look in the right place, namely the day-to-day the ordinary, the simple events of our daily living that tells us that Jesus has suffered, died, and was raised. As I stated yesterday, Good Friday, we come to recognize more and more that always close to the cross is the resurrection. This is what we believe as Catholic Christians. Yes, this is an Easter, no Easter ever like it before, but it is Easter. And even in the midst of a global health crisis, it is the new hope and it is the new life of Jesus which perdures. I wish you a very blessed, a very joy-filled Easter. Pay attention, look for those little miracles that revitalizes your hope, your life, knowing that this pandemic will never defeat us, but rather it is the love of Jesus, the risen Christ. Please continue to view our little reflection each and every day following Easter. As we continue then to celebrate the Easter mystery, we know in one way or another, at one time or another, the many ways that God makes himself known to us. And then maybe our eyes and maybe our ears will be open all the more. And we will give praise and thanks to the living God. Thank you. And again, a very happy Easter.